What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast, episode 60-something. My name is Omar. Next to me is Earl. Below me is Max. And today we're going to be covering a few things. We're going to start off with the in-season tournament, a little overview of that. Then we're going to go into some other topics. So just to start us off today, I am going to see the Knicks versus Magic in person. As everybody knows, this is the time where the Knicks need to win. We just need the win. We don't need anything else. We just need the win. That's it. That's all we need. We need the win. If we win by one, we win by two, or we win by three, all we need is the win, and that's all I want. The win. I know Orlando's a defensively tough team, but we've also been a really good offensive team. So
I'm playing Orlando.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good game.
It's gonna be a real good game. It's gonna be a real good game. It would have been better if Paolo was there, man. But oh man, I'm so upset. I got the tickets expecting to see Paolo, but it's okay.
I hope you didn't get the tickets expecting to see Julius Randle.
No, I did not. I bought it after the trade.
That good move, good call.
I bought it after the trade. I would have
that is one of the big games happening today. That's one of the headliners.
Facts.
Yeah. What was the other game? I know the
one
Hawks
is going to be
made
the
it.
Bucks versus the Pistons. They're both 3-0 still.
Yeah, that's for their group as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they both could make it though, even if the team that loses has a good point differential, right?
Yeah, I think it depends on
if they're both 3-0. If one team loses, they can move on. Just the other team probably will become the wild card.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this feels like both teams will probably make it unless they have.
It really depends on the point differential, but yes, the point differential actually determines.
they're about the same, but it depends on the other groups. If they're going to be a wild card, you still have the Celtics, who are 3-1 too. Or did they already play? Never mind.
Well, the Hawks already made it out. The Hawks already made it out of there. So shout out to the Hawks.
My fault.
Beat the Cavs and the Celtics to get out of that conference, but do we see them even making it past like the next team? Like
the Hawks?
What do we think about the Atlanta Hawks?
How are the Hawks the winners of Group C though? Because they have a worse point differential on the Celtics.
Because it's not based on point differential. If one team gets the loss, the next team without a loss moves on. Doesn't matter.
But they both went 3-1.
They both went 3-1?
Yeah. The Hawks and the Celtics are 3-1.
Oh, they have the tiebreaker, I think, because the Hawks beat the Celtics already. And that's how it breaks it down. If you're tied, I think, because shout out to Kate,
but I thought it goes off point differential.
I think that only matters when it's something weird, but I think there was something about a tiebreaker that has nothing to do with point differential. It's weird. I think if you played that team before and you beat them, then you have the advantage, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, apparently, what I saw yesterday from the NBA account is that the Hawks already moved on, and what's likely that's going to happen is either the Celtics are the wild card or the Bucks. I
think they just mean that the Hawks the Hawks have locked up a wild card spot, I guess.
No, they did not. They won East Group C.
But that makes no sense then. Then why do we have a points differential if it's just a tiebreaker of who beat who? You see what I'm saying?
Okay, look.
The Hawks have a worse point differential than the Group C East and are locked into the third seed. Wait, what? No, that's from 7 hours ago. Yeah. The Atlanta Hawks have won Group C.
They clinched.
The Hawks will either visit New York or Orlando, Detroit or Milwaukee in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
That's so weird then. I'm like, okay, so it's
hold on, let me ask this. Were the Celtics
that just makes no sense to me.
Of East Group C. Was the Celtics kicked out of East Group C?
No, they can be a wild card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what.
Why did they not just win? They tied for the best record, and I thought the tiebreaker was point differential, of which they have a better points differential than the Hawks. I didn't think it just went off.
I think
who beats who. If the who beats who is the tiebreaker, then what's the point differential?
Okay, so I think
it depends.
I think you're thinking of point totals. It seems that when I'm looking at the NBA Cup on both standings, it seems the people that have made it out have the most point totals in their conference. So, for example, Atlanta Hawks have 485 to the Celtics 482. The Rockets have 343 compared to the Trailblazers 325. And then the Spurs have 353 that are leading the conference over Oklahoma City with 305. So it seems like the most. Wait, that's cap. That's cap. That's cap.
Yeah, there's a
West Group
three-way
C-
tie in West Group B, but
Okay, but then this is where the win matters because in West Group C,
or Group B.
Group C. I'm talking about Group C. With the Warriors, they have no wins. They have no losses, I should say.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah. So it's like you go by record, obviously, and then, but I thought that if you have the same record, you go to points differential as a tiebreaker, not total points. I thought it was
No, it seems like it's total points. That's what it seems like they're factoring in here. At least this is what it's on the NBA.
They didn't
website.
have as good a point differential, but they won by more points.
Yeah. So
Or sorry, they have more.
Yeah,
total
the point
points.
differential
so
up here
weird.
is still plus 15, but the Hawks made it out there because they have the most amount of points in the conference.
That's so weird.
But I don't. That's the thing.
That?
This is what I don't get.
That doesn't make sense on the explanation because I think the Bulls have like 500 something weird. If I'm not mistaken,
the Bulls have 518. Yeah, this is
so that
because they played an extra game and they've lost. They're 2-2.
But then now I'm.
That's still 4 though.
How does it even work now?
That's still 4.
Well, because they don't have as many
4.
wins as the Hawks and the Celtics. The Hawks and the main orderer is wins. You go by wins first. Wins, 3-4. So if you're 2-2 and there's a 3-1 team, you're done. Sorry. You've got to tie that team to go to the total points tiebreaker. But if you don't win the games, then who cares?
Yeah. I don't think the point differential then matters, I guess. I mean,
then why is all we've heard about for the last 2 years is point differential. No, it's actually just total points. So it really doesn't matter how much you win by.
This doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not going to lie. Brooklyn has already kicked out.
Theoretically, couldn't it?
Well, no, I
really
really do think it matters about wins and losses here because
no, it does. It does. That's the primary thing.
Yeah,
but then I always thought the tiebreaker was point differential, not total points.
Yeah, this is really confusing. I'm not gonna lie.
And again, I'm looking at this, and it lists point differential.
I understand it now. I understand it now.
Okay,
I understand it now.
Good Lord, please explain this.
Look,
yeah, because I'm a little confused just looking at this.
Wait, never mind.
You don't understand it. There's nothing, bro. This is
okay. My logic about point differential is this. I think maybe the point differential matters when it comes to the wild card.
That could make sense.
Getting into the wild card, maybe.
That makes sense.
Think about it. Think about it. If every
that makes sense.
By logic, Max, every division, like every group can have like 2 or 3 3-1 teams or tied teams, whatever, but it will only come down to who gets it by what the point differential is. Yeah. Who gets in, because you can't let everybody in. There's only a certain amount of people per then. Was it? It's only 3 teams, right?
Yeah, but if 2 teams are 3-1, like with the Celtics and the Hawks, who gets the spot? You're not going off point differential. If you're going off point differential,
I'm saying it doesn't.
We are technically
wild card. I'm saying wild card. I'm saying the clinch. You have. I'm guessing, like Omar said, you have to have
more total points.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is.
With the same amount of wins. You
also have to have a combination of wins because
why is the tiebreaker different for deciding who wins the conference and then
you have to get
who gets the wild card spots? Why are those?
And I'm pretty sure it's about.
I'm pretty sure it's about a loss.
But what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure it's still about like head-to-head matchups as well. Like if it's tied and you already beat that team, I'm assuming that you get some type of benefit from beating that team when it comes. But then
why? Okay, then why is there? Okay.
The point differential should. This is what I'm thinking. I'm guessing. I could be wrong.
Okay.
That could put me in the comments. I think the point differential is only calculated to see who makes it to a wild card game.
Yeah, I think that's.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So the regular standings, your in-group standings, are calculated.
And the teams that are
and
then wins.
Whoever beat the other team gets the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker was the head matchup.
Exactly. The worst case scenario is if it's tied.
It's the 2 remaining teams with the best point differential.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because that's the only way you can calculate. Like I'm looking at all the numbers. That's the only way it makes sense.
And you can't have losses. I think that's very.
Because now I'm looking at the overall standings.
Well, I don't know actually. I guess
it makes a lot of sense.
Think about it. I want to add to that by saying it matters if you have losses, because if you have losses now, you're already kicked out of the tournament. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
And the remaining teams that are not technically kicked out because they don't have any losses or are at least tied, like the Hawks and and the Celtics, it has to go to point.
Right. So let's say a 2-2 team couldn't get a wild card spot over a 3-1 team, even if they had a better points difference.
For prime example,
I'm looking at it right now. Here, I got it up. On my fault. I was just gonna say, like, look at the Pistons right now, East wild card, just off of it right now. Right now, East leaders, it's Orlando, Bucks, and Hawks. Only reason Orlando is leading right now is because you haven't played your fourth game yet, and they have a plus 60 point differential, right? So that's just default. It's like that. But right after that, the East wild card, number 4 is the Pistons with a plus 28, and they're 3-0. Number 5 is the Knicks, 3-0, with a plus 15. And then number 6 is the Boston Celtics. They're 6 because they lost the game. They're 3-1, and they have a plus 23. So that's the only reason they're 6 is because they lost one game and the other teams haven't lost.
Okay, yeah. So the wild card is then the best. You still sort primarily by best record.
Yep.
And then the tiebreaker, but within the best record is the points differential.
Exactly. Yep.
Wow. Okay, that is so much more confusing than I thought. I thought it was
that's a little.
Hey, NBA, use this as an ad to explain, bro, because that was insane.
That was a beautiful explanation.
We
really worked as a team there to get that going.
It's so silly. So points differential only matters if you're a wild card team.
Pretty much, but you always have to keep it in mind though. You never know.
But what's also very important to what Earl said, I want to use this prime
example. The Magic basically clinched. Yeah. By these means, Magic. There's no way the Magic. They do. They have a plus 60 unless they get blown out tonight. The highest one is plus 23.
No, dude. If they lose a game, they will fall down one spot.
Yeah, I know. They'll be 3-1.
He's saying if they lose tonight, they're basically a wild card.
No, I'm saying wild card, Omar.
Position to
Omar, we're saying different things. I'm saying they pretty much have a wild card spot. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Based off of
they'll be in the tournament even if they lose.
Then you're 1,000% right. Yes.
Because that plus 60 is insane. That's the highest out of anybody.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be at worst 3-1 with like a plus 50 points differential. Like they will get that wild card spot no matter what. It's just a question if they're going to win the group.
But you are right. The Knicks will take that spot if they win tonight.
Yes. Yeah. That's damn. We NBA sponsor us. This is crazy. So
there's only one wild card spot then, right?
There's three wild card spots.
Oh.
3.
And this is where my prediction comes into play.
No, I'm sorry. It's not 3
per conference. There's one.
It's one per conference. My bad. Yeah, there's one. So
one per conference?
Hypothetically,
because you got to go. You take the 3 winners and then the one wild card. So it's 8. Then 4. Then 2.
Okay. So basically, it's probably gonna be the Magic. I mean, unless they just get beat by like 50 or 60. There's probably gonna be the Magic if they lose.
There's a lot. I'll put it this way: there's a lot of East teams that are.
Oh my god, it's crazy! Yeah,
that the Magic win tonight, because if the Magic win, that will lock them in as the group winner, and then they won't have to compete with them for the wild card spot. They're hoping that the Magic just straight up go in as a group winner, because if it goes down to a wild card, then they're getting it no matter what, basically. Like Earl said.
Yep.
Well, I think I mean,
the Magic. Like, let's say Detroit, because Detroit and Milwaukee play tonight. That's going to be that's a good game. But think about it. Like, they're both 3-0. If one of those
my Detroit prediction looking pretty nice.
Now. Okay, they just win in season games. But
listen.
Fair enough. Let's say Detroit wins, right? And Milwaukee loses. Milwaukee's now 3-1. If the Magic beat the Knicks tonight, there's a good chance Milwaukee will be going up against the Knicks for the wild card, and they'll have a better point differential.
Okay, you guys want me to tell you the breakdown?
Yeah,
this is the scenario.
If the Magic lose, then they get the wild card over everyone.
This is the East scenarios right here. Okay,
what's the East scenarios?
Group A. This is what can happen.
Okay.
1A. New York Knicks clinches, guaranteed with a win. 1B. Orlando clinches with a win. That's just automatically.
Good game.
Orlando. Yep, that's a good. You got a banger, Omar.
Yeah,
Orlando clinches wild card
so
spot.
excited. I'm so excited, actually. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane.
This is how it goes. The clinch
is crazy.
No, it's going to be crazy there.
It's going to be crazy.
Orlando clinches the wild card spot if Orlando wins tiebreaker over Boston, and the loser of Milwaukee-Detroit game. Note, for Orlando to have a chance to win tiebreaker 3-1, Orlando must lose by no more than 37 points or in overtime. So basically, If y'all go out there and beat them by 38 points, then they're not winning. They won't clinch. Basically, that's what it is.
Listen, I just want the win. I don't even care about that.
Okay, we gotta win by 40. Knicks gotta win by 40 to kick.
No, I'm saying to kick Orlando out. It's literally by 40, bro.
Yeah, I'm not looking to kick them out. We'll just beat them again later down the line.
It's some craziness, bro. It's really the West is like a movie.
The West is more close. I'll say that.
Wild West.
No, it literally is. The West is like the script for the West is kind of crazy. Like this is the paper for the East. This is the paper for the West scenario.
Yeah.
There's only one. There's only two potential undefeated teams.
Yeah. Let's just say Group C is.
No, Group B is cooked. Could the Lakers still make it?
No, we're done. We got eliminated.
Yeah, they got kicked out the other day.
Really bad points difference.
The Thunder kind of kicked them out. Yeah. It would be really surprising to see the Spurs make it out of West B, just to see like how they do.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah,
Wemby's playing real well. He's really.
What's the Group B games tonight? Who's
not gonna lie? When Wemby came in the league, I was thinking like he may take like a little bit of a Joel Embiid route where he's injured for at least the first 2 years, but
he's only way
doing real well. I like it,
bro. The only way OKC can win, bro.
They play the Jazz.
Yeah, they gotta win.
No, but
they gotta also have to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
OKC has to win
immediately. Okay.
And then for them to get the wild card, it has to be either OKC wins, Portland loses, and Dallas loses. Scenario 2, OKC wins. OKC wins the tiebreaker over Portland and Dallas. And then option number 3 is Phoenix lost, Portland lost, Dallas lost, and OKC wins the tiebreaker over the second place teams in Group West A. So it's
Group West A is really interesting right now because the Wolves are completely eliminated but are still above the Clippers, which is super weird to me, but let's continue.
I think it's because they beat the Clippers right now. Is it? Well,
no, I mean, look, they have to pass Portland and get that win. But I think their
Timberwolves are done.
Wait, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Clippers. My bad. I'm talking about the Clippers.
The Clippers, what group are they? No, Clippers are done.
Group A, but did they lose to the Timberwolves?
No, they're not. They're not eliminated.
No, they're done.
No, they are. Yeah, because they lost to the Timberwolves. So that means even if they win tonight, they can't jump over Minnesota because they're tied 2-2. Unless they dominate.
Unless Portland.
That's what I'm saying. Unless Portland gets dominated.
Nah, it's really.
Well, dude, I think they can.
Okay, no. You're right. The only way though, they can't win their group, but they can get a wild card spot. The only way, they can get a wild card spot is they have to win
by like 50.
They have to win in regulation. OKC lost, Dallas lost. Clippers wins tiebreaker over second place teams in West Group B and C. And in order for LAC to have a chance to win tiebreakers over second place in Group B and C, Los Angeles Clippers must win by at least 24 points.
At least. Who are they playing?
In regulation, if Denver wins.
Who are they playing? They're playing the Blazers.
That's
a tough one. Yeah, I was gonna say if they're playing the Kings, then maybe, but
too much has to go right. That's like a doomsday scenario.
Yeah,
bro.
That's a perfect scenario. I don't think we'll be seeing the Clippers. Which honestly, I would like to see the Clippers in the tournament. That would have been a fun team to see.
James Harden and Zubac is cooking. I'm not gonna James Harden. Oh wait, timeout. Just a quick 4-second. I told y'all about James Harden. I tried to tell y'all, but we ball. Continue on with the tournament. Omar said he was gonna score 12 points a game. I just wanted to bring that up to you guys. You can go watch the clip.
Listen,
he told me 12 points a game is all James Harden could do.
At least,
absolutely crazy. I defended my bearded goat.
At least when I know I'm wrong, I will say that I'm wrong. I can't say the same about everybody else. I can't say the same about everybody else.
You know what? You own up.
But at least when I'm wrong, I will fully admit I'm wrong.
I respect that.
You own up to it.
I respect that.
James Harden, you've been balling the hell out. Zubac, you've been balling the hell out. I love that Clippers team more than I thought I would this season. And
yeah,
they I'm not saying they got a bright future, but they got a good team on their hands right now. It's all right.
They're definitely better this year.
Does this kind of confirm?
They're better than last year. They had Paul George and Kawhi last year.
No, they're playing way better than we were last year.
Because
I think
less
the
is
team,
more. Because
I'm saying, I think the team just makes more sense. Like you surround. This is literally
because less is more.
But whatever, it's our podcast.
It's less.
You're surrounded. This is James Harden's like kind of dream situation. You just surround him with a bunch of defenders, bro, and let him go out there. Like literally, am I not right? You just surround him with young defenders, a good young center, grab rebounds who can throw lobs to. Like he's making Zubac look. Not saying Zubac is bad, but he's putting up crazy numbers.
This is why I said
remember what he did to Clint Capella? He tricked the world into thinking Clint Capella was. No offense. I'm sorry. I seen Clint Capella play too many times live, bro. He made the world think Clint Capella was a top 10 center, bro, when he was playing with James Harden.
He was a top 10 center when he played with James Harden. Objectively.
Yeah, it's like that's the Harden effect.
Oh man. I will say it slipped my tongue actually. Let's continue. I lost it completely.
I stand on business.
I lost it completely.
If Kyrie and Harden don't get hurt, that Nets team probably at least wins one championship. I
agree.
Should have won 21. That was
I agree.
This is why I said
screwed by injuries and Durant having a big foot.
I got it now. I remember. This is why I said like last year that less is more. That too many cooks in the kitchen can cause something really disastrous, and this is
that
what
goes
was
against
happening.
Max point.
But this is what I was saying about the Clippers.
Continue, my fault.
It was saying what I was about the Clippers since last year. I was saying like, listen,
all right now.
You brought James Harden from a team that he had a lot of people, a lot of help next to him, but you don't realize that the reason why they didn't work was because of too much of them together.
Hey, but you know what? I'm gonna double down and my double quote you. You can give the same ingredients to a different chef and they could cook up something crazy. And that's what the Nets
Steph
were.
Curry.
The only reason, like Max said, the Nets lost was because everybody on that team got hurt at the wrong time. Think about throughout that season. If they were all healthy, James Harden, Kyrie, and KD win. I say I'll double down.
I'm not gonna talk about the COVID stuff. But a lot of those things could have been very well avoided. I'm not going to discuss that right now.
Kyrie got hurt.
True,
there
was
a scratch where he
did get hurt too.
Well, it was Kyrie.
He could have avoided missing, but I think he did get hurt.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't play the playoffs.
That's why I don't want
Kyrie that's why I don't want the playoffs. I don't care what seed they are.
But Kyrie came back, is what we're saying. Like, it's just
didn't Harden try playing on one leg in that Bucks series?
Yeah, and then he was hurt too. Yeah.
Harden tried to play on one leg and he couldn't, and Kyrie was out with something else.
Can we say hot take? We're everywhere, but are the Bucks low key? Nah, let me chill.
Wait. No.
Think about it, but let me say this too. Look. The Bucks might benefit the most from injuries. And I'll say this. My biggest example is my Atlanta, not always. I won't say this. My Atlanta Hawks take, bro. They had no answer for Trae Young. Trae Young was scoring like 40 plus that series. He was balling. Nobody could stop Trae Young. When they started losing games and they lost series when Trae Young got hurt and that ref stepped on his ankle. Adam Silver said, "No, my young butt Giannis has to win this series." Trae Young
21?
Yeah. I think it was the Eastern Conference Finals. 21 Hawks Bucks.
Oh, that was the year.
Yeah.
Yes.
A ref stepped on his foot.
Yes. The ref stepped on Trae Young's ankle and he got eliminated.
He had Milwaukee.
Bro, I swear, bro. That's why when I tell people this,
I forgot that was
messed
season.
Up.
Yeah,
bro. It messed up Trae Young's whole career, bro. It messed up his whole career trajectory, bro. Like they could have beat that Suns team, bro. There's no doubt in my mind. That Hawks versus Suns would have been a good matchup.
It would have. I still like the Suns.
Dude, the fact that Milwaukee was able to the fact that Milwaukee was
the Suns had mental breakdowns like the rest of those games, though. 4 out of those, 5 games, was it? How many games did it go to? 5?
They won the first 2 and then lost 4 in a row. That series.
And the way Trae Young was playing like out of his mind.
We're done.
Yeah, we won. Bro, I'm telling you the way
Mikel talked about it and he was like,
that's why Trae
up 2-0 and then we were like,
that's why I would never really hate on Trae, bro. That's why I can never fully hate on Trae because he did show that he could do it at that level, bro.
100%.
He balled out. Like first time,
people don't recognize that. Like he could, that was a team that went to the conference finals and probably
that trash roster, bro.
Finals. I don't
just
know.
kidding. It wasn't trash, but
What was the
it
series
was,
when Trey got hurt? What was the total series? What was it? 2-2?
here, I'll go to the games. I
Go
think
to
the
the game.
Hawks.
Go to the game.
I think the Hawks were ahead.
All I'm gonna say is my mom taught me if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it.
Exactly.
That's all I'm gonna say here.
I don't know. Okay, but I mean,
All right, you know what? Fine.
I feel like the Hawks.
All right, let me look. Let me look.
Let me say something nice about Trae Young. Let me say
say
something nice about Trae Young. He has one of the best passing abilities in the NBA. 1,000%.
He does.
He's
Okay. It was Hawks took game 1. Boom. Trae Young have 48 points. Bucks take game 2. I think Giannis had 25. I don't know what the box score. Does anybody know what game Trae actually got hurt though?
That's all you.
Let me check box. My fault.
Probably like game 3 or 4.
Trae Young. Yeah. Okay. They lose 2. Game 2 and 3. They win game 4. So it's 2-2. 5 and 6 they lose.
The Bucks won 2 more. Yeah.
Yeah. So they go 1 Hawks, Bucks, Hawks.
But when did Trae get hurt?
Maybe game 5, I'm guessing. So 5-6. It kind of at that point it's 2-2. I mean,
at that point, if Trae got to that far, you honestly make a good point. I didn't even think about that. That if Trae stays in that series, maybe they do go to the final. I still don't think they'd be.
Or maybe it goes because what did that? It went 7, right? 1, 2.
No,
3,
it went 6.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, maybe it goes at least 7.
If Trae is
there. Yeah, regardless, it probably goes 7. I remember that because Chris Middleton had that crazy game 6, 32 points.
The Bucks definitely got lined up for a good run there. They definitely did get a little injury luck, but there's no run to the finals that really has where you played every team at full strength at the best.
Yeah, we can have that conversation.
True. That is true.
Boston last year too.
Yeah, like every run you go against some injury.
It's an endless conversation, so yeah.
A lot of the times it does just come down to which team is the healthiest, which is unfortunate, but that's kind of just the way it is. If we're going to have a playoff system, unless you want to go to just an 82-game regular season, whoever has the best record is the champion. Unless you want to do that.
Now when I think about it.
Because I remember him coming back to play game 6, and he just did not look good.
He was on one leg.
Now that I honestly look back and think about it, I don't think we've had a 100% healthy NBA Finals in a very long time. 100% healthy.
Like both teams were 100% healthy?
Yes.
Well, I guess you count Porzingis being healthy last year.
Okay, I'm talking about both teams too.
The Mavericks were hell. They were.
Luka was dealing with that hand injury too.
I mean, you're always gonna be dealing with something. But he played the whole series.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. It's like 100%. You're never gonna make the NBA Finals. You're perfectly not injured, unless you sat out the whole year and you're just now coming back. You're dealing with something. A hand, a thumb, an ankle, back, a shoulder. Like no one's sitting there like I'm pain free. I'm ready to go.
That was the year.
Shot somewhere.
That was the year y'all played them that year to start round 1. I forgot.
Yeah. And we were fully healthy. We just...
And then Philly. Oh, Trae Young broke Ben Simmons that year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Philly was healthy.
Oh yeah,
that was the closest Philly's been to being healthy
team. Yeah, that team was. Hey, Trae Young and the Hawks that year were crazy. That was their year.
And it's crazy because I feel like this is people always say look what he did this year. He'll only be better. Or they're going to continue to build this team around Trae Young. He'll make the finals sooner or later. That's not a guarantee. If you make a deep run, you gotta are not guaranteed to make it back to the finals. Look at the Phoenix team. People thought the Phenix team would be back. They haven't been back. That team is basically
I'll do this. Because they arguably broke up most of their stuff when they brought Kevin Durant.
True, yeah, but they haven't been back. It's
there's a conversation to have if they still had Mikal Bridges and
they didn't give it very long.
It's just the amount of defense that they were able to supply to that team, and them being able to play those roles. That's why I thought that it was because
that was the team we feared.
Now we look at it and we don't think big names of those two because they're in their own respect. They're good players in their own respectful ways. But you would basically have to combine both of them to get a superstar. So
Yeah.
I think in a combination of those two would have helped the Suns team with Kevin Durant more than like they could have.
And it's
I feel like even if they
the whole they had a system that worked. Like Lakers fans, like we were more nervous about that team than I know we just lost to the Suns, so this is not aging well. But as far as like a full playoff series versus this Kevin Durant version of the team, like that team used to clamp. That Suns team with Mikal on one side, Cam Johnson, you had Chris Paul, you had Aiden.
Yeah.
Like, and you had Devin Booker as like the scoring, bro. That team was the scary type team. If they all locked
led
in,
that team to the finals.
Then you get an old Kevin Durant and mess it all up.
I'll stand on the laurels of that Durant move was not a bad trade. It was the Beal trade. The Beal trade.
Beal was terrible.
Yes, all right.
I think
I'll say that.
if they did not make that Beal trade, I think they're in a way better spot right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at what the Suns are doing right now. Like Beal is out. I hate to say per usual, but per usual. Durant's been in and out, but when he's playing, he's still phenomenal. He's still a top 10 player in the NBA when he plays. You can't convince me otherwise. Booker is still top 10, top 15. Tyus Jones is putting in work. They got Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen. Like, they're having to do this basically without Bradley Beal. They are winning without Bradley Beal. So can you imagine if they just never made that trade, never put themselves in that cap situation, and then they still have those assets from the Beal trade?
Yep.
I think they'd be in a much better spot.
Yeah,
I still think they can win
true.
right now. Like, they have a good enough team to go be competitive and win games right now, but I think that was more their mistake than being like, oh, we can go get a top 15, 20 player of all time at the tail end of his prime and pair him with Booker. Like, you got to do that. You go in.
Yeah, I just think it reminds me of like what the Hawks did with Trey. Like, why would you trade for another player at that same position? Like, Bradley Beal and Devin Booker are both shooting guards. Murray and Trae Young, to me, were both point
I feel
guards.
like they
I'm still surprised that
Booker,
didn't work, honestly.
Well, I mean, with a lot of the stuff, I mean, I know we saw a lot of Chris Paul on that Suns team in the finals running the point, but I feel like what the Suns had in mind was Booker was able to kind of like take some of those lessons, move over to the point guard position, and then have Bradley Beal fill that spot for him. That's the only thing that really comes to mind when I'm thinking about that. But I mean, obviously, it didn't translate as the Suns thought it would. But they saw 1 year Chris Paul with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they thought, yeah, he could do the same thing with Devin Booker.
The Suns, I mean, the Hawks only gave up Gallinari and 3 firsts to get DeJounte. I feel like
it's not a bad trade.
Like, that is an all-in move to go get Trae Young, someone to work with to extend that window. If you think you can go get a championship with like this core, you're really not giving up any great core. You're giving up Gallinari.
True.
Yeah,
I just feel like,
and they got 2 firsts back off it, so it's not like they needed too fat an L on this.
They really needed a center, bro. No offense to Clint Capella, bro.
I'll be so honest. I think I do defend Clint Capella a little more than. I'm not saying he's great, but I think he's a good enough center. If they could have just got some wing stability versus like Hunter being in and out, AJ Griffin, Bogdanovich, it always felt
Max. I've seen this man play multiple times in person, and when it comes down to making game-winning plays, he sells every time, bro.
Then how did they come? But you just said that they came within 2 games of the NBA Finals with that team, with Capella.
I'm just saying.
Capella was great that season.
I'm saying, Capella was on that team. Yes, he was a player on that team, but still, like,
you think he was the weak link?
I'm not saying he was 100% the weak link. I still think they would have won if Trae Young stayed healthy.
I think Clint Capella hit his prime during that time.
But think about it, like, if I'm not even saying he's terrible, but like, think about if you had a better big and Clint Capella as your second option center, that makes your team even better.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Guess, yeah. 1,000%. I don't know, because they did have some really good wing shooters. I mean, they had Herter, Bogdanovich.
I mean,
and
don't they have
going crazy?
Don't they have Big O, Onyeka Okongwu?
Yeah, he's developing pretty well this year. He's playing all right.
Is he playing more power forward or center? What do we think?
No, he's backup big now.
Yeah, that is kind of a mismanagement. When you put,
see what I mean?
I feel like putting Big O.
The fact that Okongwu is in year 5 now and he's still a backup, I feel like that is a little.
That's a coaching issue.
That's a little mismanagement.
That's a coaching
issue. He should be the starting center by now. At least. Have they paid him yet? Have they paid Okongwu?
Who's the starting power forward on that Hawks team this year? Is it Saddiq Bey?
No, Saddiq Bey got traded.
Oh yes, that's right. Where did he get traded?
Remember, he got injured, so he hasn't played. He's on the Wizards. where all players are forgotten. Okay, the starting lineup right now for
like
the
Malcolm Brogdon is on that team. No one knows he's on that team.
Yeah, no, I turned on the game. I was like, bro, who is this dude? Oh, it's old man Brogdon. Now, but the starting lineup is Trae Young,
looking at 2K, and I was like, who the
Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Ricochet, and then is Clint Capella. So they go with a big lineup now, and Hunter's a 6-man, which seems like it's working pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that, like back in 22,
DeAndre Hunter,
when they got DeJounte, I can't blame them for being like, we need a running mate for Trae more so than like a center. For Capella. I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like what I mean by center though, I really meant like a Carl, like an all-star level
like
type
a center who like an offensively talented center, someone who's more than just a role man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, Herder?
I thought it would work out better.
You were talking about Kevin Herder.
Oh, no. I was talking about Hunter.
For a second, when they lost Kevin Herder, that thing got worse.
I was about to say.
They should have held on to Kevin Herder.
Isn't he on the Kings right now? What are you talking about?
And he don't even really fit well on the Kings, low key.
He doesn't.
He had that really good year with them. The year after he got traded to the Hawks. Remember in 22
and then,
when the Kings were or 23, I guess now, when the Kings were the 3 seed.
Is it weird to say? I don't know if him and Murray like complement each other. Like I feel like once they drafted Murray, not saying it's connected at all, but I think he kind of does what Herder was doing, low key.
They didn't get the best out of him. I agree with that. They didn't get the best out of DeJounte, but I can't sit here and say it wasn't worth a shot. Like.
No, I agree.
You got to look at these trades in the moment. I think in the moment, the Bradley Beal trade was stupid. I think anyone could have seen that in the moment. But I think in the moment, you're saying like, oh, you're going to pair Trae and DeJounte for only 3 firsts and Gallinari, and you figure DeJounte at the very worst, you can trade him if it doesn't work out, which they did, and they got a decent enough return on him. Probably not what they wanted, but like I can see the logic in that moment. I can't see the logic in like a Bradley Beal trade.
You know what? I'll agree with you, and maybe this is my point of view. I think if you're going to make that move, then you make another. I don't think that was the one move to fix everything. Basically,
true.
I think if you get Murray,
move. You don't do
then
that.
You keep going. Like I don't think that was the move. Oh, this is our championship team to build around Trae Young. If you're gonna make that type of move, it just shows me that hey, I'm kind of willing to go in. Let's just go all in. Like I think Trae Young showed them enough. Like if you have a player every single year who's increased his assists per game number every single year since he's a rookie, like points per game as well, like. That tells me, okay, he's buying it. He's trying to be a passer. Look what he's doing with these guys on the floor. What happens if we go add like a 1A or a 1B type player to play along with him, or a 1C and a 1B type player to go with him? Like, just build out this team, this roster. And shout out to them trading. My thing is, it's funny how we turned to Atlanta Hawks. I'm not gonna lie. But last point about the Hawks. The best thing, I know everybody loved John Collins. I just think John Collins reached his peak as a Hawk, and I don't think there's any problem with that. And I think they got rid of him at the right period, because if you don't trade John Collins, you don't get Jalen Johnson emergence at all.
I would argue
he was playing behind
because they didn't get for him. I would argue that they waited too long. And like you said, like Omar said, sometimes addition by subtraction. Yes, getting rid of him still was a good move because they allow Jalen Johnson. But if you get rid of him 2 years earlier, or even 1 year earlier, you get more than Rudy Gay in a second. I don't even know if they got a second. I think it was like Rudy Gay. That's it. They basically
that is true.
For nothing.
What I will say,
that doesn't work. Is a mismanagement.
What I will say is that
a guy who was like borderline all-star like 2-3 years earlier.
Well, it kind of mimics their current situation as well. With their center position, I feel like if they were to trade Clint Capella and try to get,
it would be a year or two late, or 2 years too late.
It would be that exact situation.
You're not wrong. It's like
you're right.
On the one hand, I credit them for trying to gut this out and keep this team around Trae that he had success with, that he showed he can bring them to the conference finals, and if he doesn't get stepped on, maybe an NBA finals. But at some point, if you're not getting the return on these assets that you could have gotten, that's objectively a mismanagement. That's objectively not getting back what you could have gotten back. So,
I agree. It's all about
I do agree. Like the fact that
I feel like that's one of the hardest things. As an NBA GM, that's got to be one of the hardest things to do, though. I mean, think about
it. True. No, it's not easy.
Whether we like it or not, the Celtics traded Marcus Smart at the right time.
True, yeah, they traded a perfect time.
They traded him at a perfect time. They got Kristaps Porzingis in a steal of a three-team trade. Like, it's the hardest things to look at players as it's gonna sound real bad here.
Just keep it to it's the business. You gotta always keep in mind, like you said, Marcus Smart, great for this, everyone loves him.
It's hard to look at these players and just see commodities. And it's rough because unfortunately as a GM you have to. And it absolutely sucks because you can't have personal feelings involved. You can't say, well, this person just had a bad game, like they're gonna get back on track. You can't. You can't have any emotional attachment to these players. It's unfortunate for Brad Stevens as well. Like, just think about the position that he was in. He was a coach for these players. He was a coach for Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
And then he had to make that really, really, really hard decision to trade him. So, this can be mimicked. It's like, over and over again, this happens where you have to trade players. You have to do things in a certain way to be able to succeed as a business. So I respect, as much as I hate the way that the business is done. Some deals are done like this. Like, what's his name? Didn't even know that the deal was going down before it happened. Mikal Bridges. And then, like, it's a rough business. And I've said this before. We got to give players more respect when it comes to trying to trade them, because you can't just ship them off for almost nothing, but they've been on your roster for like 5 years. Like, what happened with Julius Randle? Like, I'm just gonna put that into perspective real quick. 2 days prior to him being traded, he was being honored in New York, and he built a park. That's honestly why I got a little pissed off when he was traded, because it showed that it's not. I don't know, man. It's just. Maybe I'm yapping. It's
the unfortunateness of the business, and I hate it for the players the most, because, like, imagine being someone like a Marcus Smart, who's like, you got your whole life. I don't know if he has kids or not, but, like, for some players have kids that go to school in these areas, and they have a home, they have a wife, they have family there, and then it's like, you got to move cross country. You start tomorrow. Good luck. Have fun in Utah. Yeah. Have fun in Sacramento. They're like, dog, I got to go look at real estate in East Sacramento now? Like,
my thing is this too.
What?
Mikal got real lucky though. At least he was staying in New York.
my only problem with it, like, I agree, like, obviously it's a business, stuff like that. But there's a world where you can be a good business person and you can be a good person as well. Like, both of them can coexist. 1000%. And for me, it's like, there's no way your superstar can't know that they're being shopped and they find out at the last second they're getting traded. Like, if you have any type of implication that, hey, we're thinking about moving on from this player. So, and for me, I think the way it was handled with Cat was a little bit weird for me. Especially a franchise player who is a guy who could have left. He could have left and went to a different team in his prime years. Not saying that he's not in his prime now. He's still a little bit younger compared to other guys. But still, like, there was moments where Cat could have left as well, but he decided to stay and build something special. So for me, I think it's just about, I don't have a problem with GMs trading guys, but at the same time, if it's your superstar player or a star type player, you got to at least keep them in the conversation just a little bit, low key.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that some GMs having loyalty to your players, and you can at least treat them respectfully. You can at least give them a heads up, tell them when discussions are happening, tell them when it's an advanced stage. Like, no player likes finding out through Twitter, which we're getting more and more now. How many players come out and be like, oh, I found out I was traded on Twitter? That's gotta stink. Like,
exactly.
Call them first. Call them.
Exactly.
Text them, go to their house. I feel like players have a lot more respect for the ones that are like, hey, you're probably not going to be on this team tomorrow morning. Just letting you know now, like, face to face.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I believe that's what happened with Karl Anthony Towns when he got traded. It was all of a sudden, and he was in the gym. I remember watching this story because it was so poetic. It was so weird because Shannon Sharp just came out with a podcast, maybe recorded a few days prior, and they were talking about the Knicks, and they were talking about Jalen Brunson. And then 2 days later, he's traded. The same day he was traded, Shannon released the podcast. So that only means the podcast can be recorded either a day before or a day after. I don't know if they heard rumblings about it and maybe tried to shake a little salt in a way, in the sort of speak. But all that we know from what actually confirmed happened is the fact that he was in the gym and then he went home and then the owner came and talked to him face to face and said, "Listen, you're gonna get traded," and then the news dropped like minutes later.
Yeah.
Like even if it's something like that,
told him straight up.
even if it's something like
but still, that's so.
I can respect that. It's rough.
I don't respect it at all. But we ball.
You don't. No, tell me.
Bro, telling your franchise player the day of, after we're going, this is a week of training camp. Season starts in what, 3-4 days?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, it was a really bad time.
If the trade happened quickly, you can't.
It did.
No, I get it.
As much of a
no, I get that, Max, but it's not like maybe today I wake up and check my phone. Like, these are conversations.
If we're not gonna,
it's unlikely that you come to a deal on the first terms. You know what I mean? Like, you're conversating over time. Like, you know how, like, I've heard the stories about how GMs take time. Like, they never accept the first deal that comes to the table.
No.
They go, they negotiate, they talk. This is like a long process. So if you were shopping, I mean,
I would imagine they weren't shopping towns. I think they
weren't shopping. The Knicks put up an offer. So per Bagley, this is Ian Bagley. Y'all know who Ian Bagley is. Per Ian Bagley, he said that the Knicks and the Timberwolves were in talks early June around Karl Anthony Towns, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. That was the original deal. Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, ship them off, give us Cat. The Timberwolves didn't think that the Knicks would offer DiVincenzo, which is why they asked them for DiVincenzo. So then later on, when the Knicks said, no, we're going to move on, we're going to look for different options, they looked at Jimmy Butler, they looked at Mikal Bridges, ultimately traded Mikal Bridges, and then they pulled the trigger for Cat. And then they said, you know what? We have Mikal Bridges. We're in a spot where we can trade Dante DiVincenzo and get Karl Anthony Towns. So mainly, I do think it was a really fast deal. I do think it was months in the making, but I do think it was fast in the sense like the Knicks finally realized that they're not going to get this deal on without DiVincenzo in the deal. And the Timberwolves didn't think that the Knicks would offer DiVincenzo. So when they offered it, why not?
True. I mean, it's yeah.
It's rough. I get it because nobody ever wants to know the day that they're being traded That is bad business. That's why we are required as human beings to tell our jobs, hey, I'm giving you 2 weeks in advance. So you can
imagine if NBA GMs had to give 2-week notice to their players.
Hey, you're being traded in 2 weeks.
Get ready.
It's just at least,
buddy. Get a real estate agent.
I mean, it's just like, dang, like, I mean, I'm your guy. It's just like, okay, you're just gonna throw me on the shelf respectfully. But like you said, that's why they say NBA is a business, I guess. But
it's so
honestly,
rough, man. We're not gonna like the way things are done in the NBA. Unfortunately, the fans are never gonna like it because it's rough, and we tend to remember that these humans are humans and they go through the same exact things as us. So it's like they don't have an on-retainer house in New York. Like they don't have that. So
what?
I mean, like an on-retainer house in New York, like just another house in like in another state.
An on-retainer house?
Shut up. I get it. Shut up. I really tried to say an on-retainer realtor, but it just came out saying houses.
I've never heard that phrase, on-retainer. Is that a phrase?
Think about it. Well, yeah, on-retainer, like for a lawyer, they're on-retainer. You pay them a certain amount.
Can we yeah. I'm the young one here. I don't.
When
someone this has
been done. When you talk to a lawyer and you tell them, listen, I don't know when I'm ever going to get in trouble as a business, so I'm going to pay you for this month, next month, the next month. I'm going to pay you for the month. Whatever happens, you're my lawyer.
Okay, it is a phrase. All right, fair enough. Okay. I just never heard that phrase before.
Don't come after.
I knew what you're getting. I just wasn't. I think it's just the way how we were getting there, but
the way he transitioned into it was a little bit, but we ball.
Yeah, no, I could have said on retainer realtor. That would have been much better than saying on retainer house.
All right, can I give a quick shout out? Can I give a shout out real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I want to shout out the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm not going to say that I was wrong. I'm not going to say my take about them being overrated to start was wrong. The long season, a lot of games can happen. A lot can go wrong. But through 21 games, they're 14-7. I think they're currently probably the second best team in the West, the way they've been playing lately. When Ja is out there, that team can ball.
Your boy
Scottie
cooked.
Pippen Jr. has had
Your
a great
boy
season.
Cooked.
Zach Edey has had a good season. Taylor Jenkins, I saw the stat the other day. Taylor Jenkins is like one of the he's been there since 2019. Can y'all believe that? This is like his 5th year, 6th year for the Grizzlies. It feels like he has not been there that long. He's like one of the longest tenured coaches in the NBA.
Doesn't surprise me.
He's doing a really good job. So I wanted to shout out Memphis. No one's talking about them. I think because I don't know where they are in the in-season tournament. I think they're like maybe going to win Group C. They're in like that Golden State Dallas Group C kind of conglomerate. But in terms of just regular season ball, they've been balling. They've really impressed me so far. I think they're legitimately probably the second best team in the West behind OKC. I think right now it's OKC, Memphis, and then Houston, which is not at all the order. I would have predicted OKC at the start of this. I think we all knew OKC would be really good.
Yeah.
Memphis and Houston being the second and third best teams in the West, the way things are playing right now, would not have seen that coming. But shout out to Memphis. I feel like they're flying under the radar right now. They're not really being talked about.
No, they are. Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, I told y'all so, but
true. You predicted it. You did predict, but like they've won 6 in a row.
I mean, and if you also remember,
is that the longest win streak in the league right now? Tied with the Magic. Okay,
that's two teams this year. That's 2 teams already that I hit right on the nose.
Well, listen, I'll tell you your Pistons hit. The Pistons have been balling way better than that.
All I said, I made the Pistons one super realistic. Just do better than last year.
No, you said they'd be 9th in the East, and right now, where are they? They are 8th in the East.
Hey!
If the line holds, then the line holds. I mean, to be fair, I don't think any of us thought, Philly being frauds and being at the bottom, or Miami. Well, Miami's still like right.
Philly is digging themselves a hole that they probably can't get.
Long season, but
it is a long season. But
I mean, Philly's 3.5 games out of 10 games right now. That's tough.
Don't see Philly winning 10 games in a row.
Don't. It's really weird though, because it's a lot of NBA anomalies. I'll call it right now. I mean,
I think they just threw the Nets the bag.
The Nets, 9 wins, 13 losses. They're gonna fall. Raptors,
actually, they've been playing really good defense.
I think they've been playing really impressive. Well.
But how long? I'm talking about sustainability though. I'm talking about for the stretch of a whole season.
In that sense, yes, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like, I agree. Like, like we said, we gotta give credit where it's due right now. Like, who's playing good right now? I agree.
The Nets have not been nearly as bad as I thought. Jordy Fernandez has them playing. Sometimes they have their off nights. When they have their off nights, it's really bad. But when they compete, they compete.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. I can't compete. I mean, I really do like Jordy Fernandez as well. It really just seems like that. He's a leader.
Well, man, the Kings, man. Well, what was right about the Kings? Was I right about the Kings? 9-12, brother.
I'll be honest. I think where are they? Okay, 9-12 is in the West. 9-12 in the East would have them basically in the playoffs right now. They're not that
bad. They're 4 games out from the 6th seed currently.
You know what? I'll make a prediction here. Can I go bold?
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I think by the end of the year, calendar year, so we'll say by January, we're recording this on December 3rd. So we'll say in a month, basically a month, the Kings will have at least tied or a better record than the Lakers and the Suns.
Let me look.
I think the Kings are better than their record shows. I genuinely don't think they're that bad. They've lost some close games.
I mean, they got some good games coming up. They got the Rockets coming up. They're on a really good streak. They got Grizzlies, your team right now to beat. Then they got the Spurs, young energetic team.
I don't think they'll beat the Grizzlies, but
then they play the Spurs. They got the Jazz though. Then they play us twice. They may get us once, but not gonna beat us twice in a row. We already beat them this year too.
They're getting at least one. I'd bet at least one. If I had to bet on a team winning both games, I'd pick the Kings. Win both.
We already beat them, bro. We match up well.
I agree with you on that. DeMar DeRozan 1-1. But if I had to bet on a team winning 2, I'd bet on the Kings before the Lakers.
DeMar DeRozan
has been in and out of the lineup as well.
DeRozan has, yeah.
So they've been pretty healthy.
Marginally. So has Ja Morant.
Yeah, true. Ja's been in and out.
Yeah. Ja's been in and out. Like we can say that for a lot of these players.
Yeah. I'm not trying to say the Kings are going to jump to the top of the West.
And the Grizzlies are 14-7, man. The Kings are 9-12.
I think the Kings can still be a play-in team. I think they're a play-in team.
Yeah. Never mind. No, we're good. I think it's a long season.
It is a long season. I think all series are better they're better than. Well, honestly, it's not even that they're better than their record shows. It's just they're better than their positioning shows. Because again, there's a 9-win team in like who's the 6th seed in the East right now. The 6th seed in the East is Milwaukee at 10-9. The Bulls are the 7th seed at 9-13. They have a worse record than the Kings, but they're 7th seed in the East. So I think,
dang, we would be the 5th seed in the East right now.
That's what I'm saying.
God, the Mickey Mouse East. What do we got going on?
I feel like the Kings are better than their not even necessarily their record, but that their standing shows. I think they're a legitimate play-in, fringe playoff, maybe not fringe playoff, but they're a play-in team. And it's just like it looks worse because they're in the West, and it's like, oh, they're pushed down the bottom.
That's crazy.
But
yeah, we need
a tough team. They can get 40 wins, 38 wins.
Yeah. I agree, but that just kind of shows everybody how wild and mixed up the NBA is at this point. But
it's a good time to be an NBA fan. Good time to be an NBA fan.
Next week, we definitely will be recapping the in-season tournament as far as the next round, because I think today is the last game.
Today's the last day, yeah. It will end today.
Of the, what is it, round 1?
So, yes, round, the entrance round, yeah.
Entrance round, yeah. But yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in on the Beyond the Backboard podcast this week. Make sure to check us out on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you guys so much. See you guys on 2 Minute Drill, and peace.
Quit and grind.